Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, happy Wintervale, first of all. We are going to get into some weird stuff tonight as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News! Everybody, from the I can't talk anymore. All right, from the Convert to Raid command post in Sacramento, California. Today is December 18th, 2018, almost at the end of 2018, guys. And it's our last show, our last full show of the year anyway. It is now 7:13 in the PM Pacific time. Thank you so much for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe. And hello, my name is Pat Krane. I am your host, and of course, the players are here. First up, from Legging Balls, it is Thyst. Hello, Thyst.
What show is this?
This is Battlenet News, you know.
Convert to this is Battlenet News?
Convert to Raid, Battlenet News, that sort of thing.
I call it both things, depending on who I'm talking to.
Of course. As well you should. As well as you, Pat.
Right. And you as well.
And there's another player here from Lords of the Storm who has some things to say. It is Gizmo.
Hello, Pat. Hello, Thyst.
Hey.
Hello.
It is it's been an interesting week.
Yeah, I think that is kind of an understatement right now, as there's been some movement from the last time that we gathered here for this show last week. Last week, as you guys remember out there, we were talking with Thyst and I were talking with Supatees, which was a fun show. You should really check it out. A lot of cool stuff, talking about WoW Arena a lot and some other fun stuff as well. And we were asking ourselves the question, what is going on with HGC? We asked the question.
We asked that question.
And we've been asking that question for now a few weeks, for sure. If not a little bit longer, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, longer, because I think I was on 3 weeks ago, and I was talking about how we were super surprised nothing had come out.
Right. And so this week we are actually going to not start with WoW as we normally do. This week instead we're going to start off with Heroes of the Storm.
You know, if we're going to be lost somewhere.
Hold on one second. That didn't really happen the way that I wanted it to. Here we go.
You know, if we're going to be lost somewhere, at least this place is nice.
So there.
Nah, kind of. No.
So my first time working with the Vikings. Thank you, Vikings. So let's talk a little bit about Heroes of the Storm. We had an announcement last week. It was about HGC and about Heroes as well. HGC is not going to be a thing for 2019. They're removing that, as well as Heroes of the Dorm, which I think is kind of doubly sad. And they're also, it seems like they're moving folks about within Blizzard, taking them off the Heroes team and putting them into different other teams. Is that right, Gizmo?
It is. That is correct. It came out last Thursday, right after, the day after Lords of the Storm last week. So if you go back and listen to that episode, it's kind of awkward now.
Right.
But yeah, and we've already seen some of the people that have moved from the Heroes team. Nothing confirmed yet. One, I believe, has been confirmed, and that's Matt Villers, who is the lead hero designer.
Okay.
I believe has moved to the WoW team. Don't remember, but there's been several others that are rumored to have left the Heroes team that were very special to the Heroes community, and we're sad to see him go.
Well, and they're not. It's not like they're gone. They're working for another team, so they're still with Blizzard, and it's not like. While I'm sure that the news at some point came to kind of a little bit of a shock to these guys. I'm also sure that Blizzard takes good care of their employees and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not too worried about those guys, although they are away from Heroes of the Storm, which is kind of sad. So
yes.
So what's been the reaction on your end of things as far as what have you heard from others? I'm sure there's been a wide range of things, but I know you're kind of watching this stuff.
Yeah, there have been a lot of emotions going around.
Sure.
I personally have kind of not put my 2 cents out there about it up to this point, just because obviously it's super emotional for me as well, doing a Heroes of the Storm podcast for the last 3 years now, going on 4 years.
Right.
But it was weird because we had been waiting this entire time. And whenever we found out the news that came with other things, the professional players, the organizations, the Heroes team themselves, we all heard about this at the exact same time. The Heroes team, I believe, found out an hour before we did, from what I've heard. And, you've had people who were wondering if they had a job going into 2019. You had teams trying to find organizations that weren't able to do so because they didn't have any information. You had people making decisions to pursue their dream in Heroes esports, putting school on hold, people who fought their way up through the open division really hard to make it through the Crucible, looking forward to HGC 2019. And it was just really unfortunate that it happened this way. I think the biggest thing that I have seen is just, I think everyone is sad about it.
Sure.
But the Heroes community has been more upset about it. And I've seen some backlash on us being upset about it. Because I'm not sure people out there, like other Blizzard fans, understood exactly how this happened. Because I get it. Heroes is probably Blizzard's smallest game. It doesn't make them a ton of money. They actually probably lost money on it, especially the HGC.
And it's had its issues just as a game too. With matchmaking and all that kind of stuff, it has some really, really strong competition. That is, League of Legends, as we were talking about last week in Dota. It's a tough market, and they came in late to it. So
they did.
And I think when they came out with it, they even said something like, "Hey, we know that we're coming in late to this. We don't know where it's going."
Yeah. Initially, there was no plans to put a esports scene behind it.
Right.
That just kind of happened because it started getting bigger. But it kind of ties into the more time went along, and we've had the discussions on this show and stuff with, about Activision, and Blizzard has felt a little different. And obviously it makes sense that Activision would want to, cut expenses. And if Heroes is losing a lot of money, then that is something that needs to be looked at.
Sure.
But the fact that it happened so long, and the fact that the team themselves didn't even know, it was literally, there were people reaching out about it within the week that this happened. And the response was, we're just waiting to get things finalized. Like, HGC is returning. We're waiting to get things finalized.
Yep.
And then boom, like this happened because that team didn't know either. And then, we know at least one media person knew about this like a week before that even happened. So things got messy there. But, all in all, I even talking on Lords of the Storm last week, I was hoping this wasn't coming, but I wasn't going to be surprised by it, and I wasn't. The thing that kind of surprised me was this on top of them moving developers over from the team, which had absolutely caught that team off guard as well.
Sure.
The Heroes development team is extremely passionate. From all the interactions I've had with developers, I haven't had interactions with every game. but the Heroes development team was extremely passionate, especially their community team. And so that was a big hit for us, pretty much just this all coming at once, especially after, BlizzCon. Heroes was one of the big things at BlizzCon this year, as far as the announcements and stuff. And
and as we said last week, there wasn't really a lot of big, huge announcements at BlizzCon, really. I mean, there was a lot of kerfuffle, sure. There was a lot of that. But big announcements, Warcraft 3, sure. The new hero was actually one of the bigger things. You're right. So,
well, that, and then I mean, like the hero, the system announcements and stuff that they were getting into on the stuff. But that stuff, all of that stuff is kind of up in the air now as well. Kale Milker, production manager, and it also now makes sense why they didn't and haven't announced a game director for Heroes of the Storm since they moved ADAB over.
Mm-hmm.
So he came out and, wrote a blog post here talking about how, they're disappointed that some of the plans they had for 2019 aren't going to happen. Of course, that being HGC, we don't really know what that looks like as far as the stuff they announced at BlizzCon, as far as system updates. It's a little worrisome here because they've mentioned, obviously if you're losing developers, the amount of work going into the game isn't going to be as high. So for a game like Heroes of the Storm, where we've had regular balance patches and regular updates, regular hero releases, map releases, the big question here is, what does that look like going forward for the game?
Right. And I know, so one of the things that was said by J. Allen Brack and for his big forum post and stuff like that was that the cadence was going to slow down, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he talked about. And I can't remember the exact phrasing of what he said. I'm sure that you can, though. It was the sentence where he ends with, and we're still going to be doing stuff, even new heroes.
So that was Kale Milker.
Oh, okay. Right.
Which, by the way, so the one from Jalen Brack and Ray Gresco that announced the disbanding of HGC and Here's the Dorm and stuff, that the way that was written just
kind of floored
off, forward, and just didn't rub us the right way. The one Kale Milker wrote was a little better. It's still very PR-y.
Sure.
But I've talked to KO several times. I mean, he's one of the people who's obviously extremely passionate about this game. But yeah, it was him. And I want to see if I can find it here. But yeah, he was talking about, of course, we're going to have the new stuff and even new hero releases.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that doesn't sound great. Here it is. This means we're still committed to regular hero reworks, themed events, and even new heroes. It's like, oh man, that seems like it's put on the back burner there.
Yeah, that shows you kind of what the cadence is like. So before I get to other stuff with you, I want to switch it over to Thyst a little bit, because I know that you guys didn't touch this on Lagging Balls at all this week, and it's everybody's a little raw about it still, probably. When you first heard this, what was your initial reaction?
I was actually racing for a train out of Penn Station, and Super T sent me the tweet about it, and I read it and I stopped, and I was I was going to be late, and I just stood there in the middle of Penn Station reading this, and I was like, oh God.
Right.
And then I went straight to Twitter, and it was just as bad as I thought it would be. And we all kind of expected something like this to happen, but I certainly didn't see them discontinuing the esports side of it for a whole year, if not indefinitely,
Right.
It could have been oh, we're lowering the prize pool significantly, or we're not doing as many tournaments this year or something, but certainly not this. And it sucks because just the nature of the gaming industry, they can't tell us anything, and they can't tell a lot of contract workers anything ahead of time. And the people I've talked to who work at Blizzard assured me that this was the best way that they could possibly do it. And it wasn't an easy thing to do, obviously, and they're doing the best that they can. And I believe that, but that doesn't take away the pain that the community is feeling. That doesn't take away the people who lost their jobs right before Christmas without knowing. So it sucks because, like, on the one hand, I believe in Blizzard, but on the other hand, it's like I'm friends with people in this community who are really, really hurting right now. And like, if this had happened, like, I love Heroes, but you guys know I'm a WoW person and an Overwatch person. And if this had happened to WoW, I would have been devastated and angry and, burning thatch roof cottages and stuff like that. Like, it wouldn't matter if this was the right move. It wouldn't matter if they did it the best way possible. It wouldn't matter if they were super PR about it or not. I wouldn't care.
Right.
Because people are passionate about this. It's their love. It's what they do. And Giz, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is. And really, it's the guys in the community that I'm always kind of more focused on anyway. Because I know that Blizzard is going to be fine. The guys that work at Blizzard are going to be fine. I know that they take care of their employees pretty well. And, I'm sure that their teams, although they're kind of being moved around a little bit, I'm sure that, the inner workings of Blizzard are okay.
Yeah.
But it's the community stuff that I get kind of jacked about all the time. Because it's guys like Lords of the Storm and other podcasters that have been doing this for 4 years now or whatever. And the people that are in the broadcast booth for all of the different tournaments and the pro players as well. And especially like the contenders and stuff. I mean, this has been a big network of people. And it's much, much bigger than Blizzard. It's much bigger. The community of players and casters and people that do videos and shows and have audiences that really love this stuff, those are the guys that are going to, suffer probably the biggest part of this, which is not being able to have this new content, not being able to appreciate the gameplay that's been happening over the last couple of years with HGC, and this last year was actually pretty amazing too. So
yeah,
it's been fun as doing the Battlenet sports side of things, kind of watching these stories and kind of listening to what's going on kind of all around the world and being able to experience that when we come to BlizzCon and be really blown away by it, and now that that's not going to be there, I'm kind of like, okay, all right. And there can be all the business reasons are probably sound and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I really care about. I mean,
that's not what matters right now.
I do a little bit, care about the business side of things, but I want to make sure that the people kind of that have been surrounding themselves with HGC and with Heroes in general are feeling okay.
Yeah.
I want them to be well.
That was the big thing. Like I said, we normally HGC stuff would have been announced like a month ago, maybe not a month ago at this point, but several weeks ago.
Sure.
And so that was the thing is and being reassured that something was coming, and to all of a sudden this just happened was the big thing. Not just for me. Like I don't make a career out of this. I've done it because I love it.
Sure.
But again, going back to the players and the casters and stuff who were just kind of sitting in limbo. But yeah, it's it's happened, and the the community is still kind of reacting to it. Of course, Reddit's game dead, all that stuff. But really, time will tell at this point. I want to be as optimistic as I possibly can be.
Sure.
But I can't make any guarantees. I mean, us at Lords of the Storm, we're very committed to this game. We're committed to continuing the podcast.
Good.
But that team is trying, they're trying to figure out, because they honestly, they don't even really know. I mean, they're scrambling together to figure out what the game looks like going forward for them.
Sure.
And with it coming up on holiday break and stuff, they're getting ready to have some time off.
And that is so you actually said one of the things that I've heard in multiple streams in different podcasts and stuff like that deal with that have some kind of Heroes tie-in and stuff like that, is that their players are the guys that are doing the podcasts and the guys that are really enthusiastic about it number one, they're still going to continue doing their shows as best they can moving forward. And number two, they are still going to be playing and supporting the game.
Yeah. I mean, the game's still great right now. The event that's going on is one of, if not the best event that's happened.
The toy one?
In the game. Yeah, the toy one. It's incredible.
Yeah.
You know,
that Stitch's skin is awesome.
That's so good. And so is the Dahako skin. The Dahako skin's really good. But, you know, and they typically plan for like 6 months in advance. So if I had to guess, they still have a fairly healthy hero roster that's yet to be released.
Sure.
So will they still slow the cadence down to kind of stretch that out and stuff? Probably. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be content out there. The community is extremely passionate about this game. You know, we're not gonna, for the most part, just abandon the game. We're gonna fight tooth and nail to show, you know, Blizzard that there is a community behind this game and to support it. And I know there's several people and organizations that are working and trying to figure out what they can do to have some kind of competitive scene. I mean, before the HGC, there was stuff going on through Heroes hype and whatnot, and so I'm sure there's going to be stuff that we see hop up from that. Is it all going to have all the professional players? No, a lot of those guys have already moved on to other games because that's what they do, is they play games professionally. So if there's no professional scene,
right. Yeah, those guys aren't there anymore. That's fine. That's okay. But yeah, that was kind of like before. When I first heard this, I was really angry. Mm-hmm. I was irate. I was about to take to Twitter. No.
Whoa.
No, I wasn't going to do that. But you know, after it took me a while to kind of try to think through it and everything like that. But I still am bummed for all the content creators out there and stuff like that. The one silver lining that I saw in all of it was like what you said. We hope to see some, maybe some tournaments start up, kind of grassroots, like the Keystone Masters that we just saw for Mythic Plus Dungeons. That was this last week, right? So, and that just kicked off, and that was kind of fun and different way to look at Mythic Dungeons. So hopefully something like that will happen where we can kind of, figure it out, or GCD TV, or whatever, that type of thing.
Well, yeah, for sure. And and again, moving forward with development, we don't know what it looks like, but it could potentially, the game could become an even better game for the casual player,
right?
Because they don't have to balance around these characters and gameplay changes for trying to find that happy ground between high-end professional players and casual players. So
right on.
Maybe balancing will get better. Who knows?
Maybe everything will get better.
But we're here and we're allowed. We love Heroes.
Yeah. Well, and it will still be a game.
Yep.
So make sure to play it.
And make sure to support Heroes streamers and Heroes content creators.
Absolutely.
If you can. If you're not one, support one. Make friends with one. Watch Heroes of the Storm, and support all those dudes.
I appreciate
Heroes of the Storm.
But on that note, I also do want to say, if you guys see any tweets going around with any of the people who worked in the esport, whether that be a player, a caster, any sort of talent, that is making a tweet looking for a job or anything like that, please retweet that, like it, because again, this has been a little later than it should have been that they were informed of this, and it's the holiday season. They're trying to find jobs again. Right. I mean, there's casters that were literally on their honeymoon when they found out. Yeah. So, do everything you can to try and get visibility for them to find some work going 2019.
Right on. Okay. Anything else with Heroes that you want to say at all, Gizmo? I'm just kind of giving the floor to you because I know that this is the first time you've really been able to talk about it and express your full opinion. I just kind of want to let you have the floor.
The last thing I will say about it, because I'm sure, like I said, my mind's racing a mile a minute right now. I know we'll be talking about it a lot more on Lords of the Storm tomorrow night, but first and foremost, I honestly haven't really seen any, but I'm sure they're out there. Obviously, death threats to anybody, let alone anyone involved in this situation, are not acceptable. No one condones that stuff.
No.
So please stop those.
Your feelings are whatever they are justified. They are personal to you. However, as soon as you put that out there and at anybody and do, yes, that's not good. That's not good stuff.
And then, as well as I am hopeful on this stuff, I am slightly concerned in the direction that Blizzard has been heading with the feel that Activision is taking more ground. So if you're not a fan of Heroes, please don't just rub it in that, dead game. You didn't care about the game. It was a bad game. There's better games out there. Because I fear or feel that we could see Blizzard changing here in the next several years. Some good, some bad, and it can happen to all of our games. So
sure, and it's weird. It's weird when it's Blizzard and you didn't necessarily expect that from Blizzard. Maybe from a different company you might expect something like that, but now we're seeing it in Blizzard, and it's a new thing that we haven't seen before, and it's weird. So yeah, a lot of people are kind of wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think we're going to move on. However, we may come back to this. Who knows? But for now, let's talk a little bit about World of Warcraft, because stuff is going on.
A clever strategy.
Thank you. So in this last week, we also saw, on top of all this weird news, we saw a Warcraft Q&A with Ian Hazzikostas. We saw another Warcraft Q&A with Ian Hazzikostas. Thyst, what was the second one? What was the second one that nobody saw?
Yeah,
well,
I
not nobody,
didn't see
but
didn't see coming, because
I didn't see it coming at all.
I didn't see it coming. Today, the Warcraft account tweeted, "Hey, we've got another Q&A with Ian Hazzikostas, and it's for the Greek audience, and it's from Greek players who submitted Q&A questions." And Ian was standing there in the Q&A room answering specifically Greek questions, not in Greek though. But he does speak a little bit of Greek, and he pronounces all of the Greek names very well.
Right.
But it's just kind of cute. Like the first question was kind of alluding to his Greek heritage, and his father's from Greece. And then after that, it was just straight up WoW questions. So if there's anything on the original Q&A last Friday that you hoped would be on it but wasn't, it might be in the Greek Q&A. Who knows? But yeah, it was like a half an hour long Q&A from Greek people in English.
Right. Talking about
really
his
cool,
yaya and all this other type of stuff. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Spanakopita.
Honestly,
he talked about Spanakopita. Can you believe
it? If I was the game director, I probably would do like a Canadian specific Q&A.
It's just all about maple syrup.
There's more to us than syrup, Pat.
Yeah, there's a big red leaf. That's it. And apologizing a lot. And
I am really sorry.
And hockey. And basketball back in the 50s.
We invented basketball.
I know.
The inventor of basketball is James Naismith, and he's from Almont. Right. That is the town next to my town. That's how I know.
But
there's the James Naismith.
He invented it in Kansas.
But Canadian basketball, American basketball,
doesn't matter. T-sports are dead anyway.
Oh, right.
It's like,
right.
Sports are just weird. In football, why do you put the field goal post in like the middle of the end zone so people can just run into it? I mean, obviously it's genius because
right.
why not just throw a large metal pole in the middle of where people are running without looking? So
Usually it's really snowy, so we have to
then
like
they
get there
slip
faster.
into it. That's also
And we
amazing.
just
However,
genuinely don't care.
However, we're no longer talking about WoW. So, and I'm sure that people are like, why aren't you talking about WoW? Why are you talking about T-Sports? And as we said, T-Sports is a weird word. Yes, it is.
Dead game.
Right. Dead games. So now we're going to talk about World of Warcraft. So there. Let's talk about the first Q&A, the one that people watched with Lore and Ian and a malfunctioning camera and a bunch of assorted weirdness. What did we learn from that Q&A, Thyst? I'm gonna hand it off to you.
What did we learn?
What did we learn? Did we learn anything major or big or anything cool?
Yeah, we did. They're talking about patch notes and communication with that. Going forward, the team wants to ensure that there's the patch notes are more complete, and they want to start explaining why things are changing instead of just stating the changes, which I think is good. And they do that for Heroes of the Storm. I mean, sorry, I've got Heroes on the brain. They do that for Overwatch. Whenever there's like a nerf or a buff to a character, it'll be like, and developers notes, and then it'll explain like why the developers think that that's a good thing.
Well, I think they've done that before too. For
they do it in Heroes. We'll see if they continue to do it.
And they did it in WoW a couple of times too. I mean, when they were doing stuff. So
a few times, yeah, but like it would be nice to. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me because I just intrinsically trust the WoW team, but I think it would sort of cut down a little bit on people's "what does this mean? I'm upset, I'm confused" posts, because there's a lot of those. It's like, well, I don't understand this, that makes me angry.
They buffed ice mages, frost mages, and they also buffed feral druids. So so it's good news for us. I think just in general.
Yeah, I went back to fire though, so yeah.
Well, it's okay.
And I'm having such a great time.
Well, that's good. That's always nice.
So they're talking about the Mythic Keystone deletion issue.
Right. So the issue was that now you cannot delete your key, your keystone.
Right.
You can't do it.
They've removed that.
And they said, suck on it. This is a thing that's happening now. This was something we weren't intending to happen, and but now we just took that away. So we made it the way that we wanted.
It was never intended. People started exploiting it to do like easier dungeons. Whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
I personally don't know if this is better or not. I know that it complicates things for Keystone Masters, but for the typical player who's just doing a key or two with their friends, it's fine.
Sure. Right.
I don't know. I know a lot of people have a lot to say about it, but like it doesn't directly affect me. Therefore, I'm not really sure if it's good or bad or not. So,
right. I know what is good for us, maybe, and that is the Heart of Azeroth stuff for 8.2.
Yes.
For when we go down to Nazjatar, what is it? What is the place called? Nazjatar? I don't know. I don't remember what it is called.
What did you say?
What is the new place? Yeah, MasterCard. What is the new place that's going to be opening up?
No, I like MasterCard. That sounds great.
It's MasterCard. It's not underwater, but it's from the water. It's and it's everywhere you want to be.
Yeah, there you go. Not spawns.
Right. So what's happening in 8.2 with the Heart of Azeroth and kind of the whole Azerite stuff
thing? So they're going to try to be making the Heart of Azeroth more engaging. It's kind of just sort of been there up until now, but with the rise of Ashara, it's going to become sort of an integral part of the story, because up until now it's just been like, cool, here's your necklace. All right, go do stuff to it. But now stuff's going to happen. The team wants to significantly change the Heart of Azeroth system. This is going to be the last tier where we have to unlock powers. So
Right.
we're good. They're just going to be unlocked for now. And artifact power will shift to the heart itself, allowing us to make permanent power choices.
It's kind of weird. I was talking to Ro yesterday, our good friend Ro, and I was talking about how now we're actually starting to feel what the development cycle is like, because at the beginning of BFA, everybody freaked out about the Azerite system. And I think that now that we're into 8.2, now they can finally actually change it, because they had everything built for the first 6 months. They were like, all right, here's the first 6 months, guys. We're locked in. We're good to go. Maybe some little tweaks here and there. Just build up the last little things. And then they went, oh no, the Azerite system is really, really borked. What are we going to do, guys? So then now they're like, oh, 8.2. That's what we have to work with. Right? I mean, it kind of feels that way.
It's easy to look at it that way, but like, this is something that they worked on and something that they were sure was going to be good, and they were very firm about implementing it. But, now that they've seen that it's not working the way they wanted it to, and that people aren't exactly happy about it, they are changing it. And I think, I don't know, it takes a lot for a game company to go in and change something that was so completely fundamental and so, I don't know, well prepared for before the expansion came out. So you kind of have to like focus on what we're getting. Like, don't focus on like how long it took, because, like, we don't like something, but they're the ones that are doing something about it, and it's way more work than we know. Well, and
I'm not complaining about it at all. It's just it's now, because I understand that the WoW team has actually been very good with iterations and everything like that. So I have no problem whatsoever with them iterating on this and coming up with a solution for what they saw as the problem after BFA launched. Right. So that part is awesome. And I'm so glad that they didn't give up on it either. Because in Warlords of Draenor, that was, I guess, kind of a shortened, it was a really short expansion, number one, but it was shortened because the systems were weird. Right? It was because it had some major system flaws. So, I don't know. Gizmo, do you have something to say?
Yeah, question for you guys on so we've had the Heart of Azeroth, we've had the artifact weapons. Next expansion, would you like to see them continue along this type of, specialty item that you're working on throughout the entire expansion, or do you miss the kind of the tier system and that whole, not trying to grind random legendaries or work on this stuff?
Thyst?
I certainly don't mind legendaries or anything like that. I don't mind the Heart of Azeroth. I didn't mind my legendary weapon, or my artifact weapon, but I wouldn't mind going back, honestly. I didn't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it now, but like, it just, to me, it seemed simpler, because like I'm playing WoW for loot anyway, so like if I want to, like, I'm spending almost 8 hours a week raiding, and I'm going to get loot, and that would be great if that was the only thing I had to focus on. But I know, it's not like that for everybody. So I certainly don't mind having this new system and the system in the last expansion, but if we were going to go back to the way things were before all that, I'd be totally fine with that.
I think what I would like is a way to be able to give people new spells and or rotations, or be able to morph it somehow within an expansion and not feel janky. That's what I really want. I don't care if it's like hey, we're just going to give you 10 either buffs to spells that you already have, or new spells that we think are super cool. Just go ahead and break WoW as much as possible. Just blow stuff up. That would be great. And then the next expansion have, you take away those 10 things, and then you give them 10 more things, and you say, all right, well, you broke WoW with all of those spells. We'll give you new spells. Go ahead, break WoW as much as possible. Just go blow stuff up. That would be cool in my mind. I don't need to necessarily find a legendary in order to do it, although that's okay. I don't need an artifact weapon to be able to do that, but that's okay. Azerite feels weird only because it seems kind of separated from everything, and it doesn't feel like it really does too much for people's rotations or whatever. So it's not like you're really adding a lot into the game. So that definitely feels weird for me. But yeah, I just kind of want to be able to always have like a new rotation or a new way to kill stuff. That would be great.
Yeah, I was just curious because initially whenever I was doing hardcore raiding, it was on the tier system, and then we went to the artifact weapon, and I never raided on this Heart of Azeroth system, but it just kind of, I get the point of why, like, them wanting to add it and change things up. But I don't know, for me personally, thinking back on it, it always felt more special as a raider when you finally like unlock the tier set that you were working for to get that power spike. And it was just, like this said, kind of simpler.
Yeah.
And very like clear cut of what you needed to do. So I'm just curious on after doing this for 2 expansions, kind of where they'll head. Yeah,
and I really like the tier sets, the way that they broke it up and switched specs with you and all of that kind of stuff as well. You didn't have anything to unlock. It was the unlock for a lot of different things. And if you switch specs, it switched to a different thing. Hey, I get to do something else. Great, perfect. So it was simpler in a lot of ways, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see the return of tier sets. Maybe.
Or not.
Yeah.
Or not.
Whatever.
Either way. Either way. The other thing that they talked about during the Q&A, still on the Q&A with last week, was Warfronts, and talking about how they were going to rotate Warfronts kind of within the factions. And like right now, if you're playing Alliance, you can go and you can play the Warfront, and I highly suggest you do it. Do all of the questing around it because it's a lot of fun. The Warfront is really good, in my opinion, and it's kind of more where I think it should be. In the original Warfront, it was more like I don't know. It just seemed very static. Like it was like you had static points and you just kind of were just kind of moving around. This seems more like, hey, we are sieging this area and we are coming to get you. It felt a little bit more visceral.
Ooh,
I guess.
I'm scared.
Coming to get you.
No, it just felt pretty good. It was nice overall. And especially the questing leading up to it. If you're playing Alliance, some fun quests for sure. If you're playing Horde, right now you can go look for Sourfang. That's your deal. Or not.
Find him.
Or not.
Or don't.
Or don't. It depends on where you stand with everything, I guess. So that's another weird one. But so they were talking about Warfronts and the rotations of things. And again, I was talking with Ro yesterday, and we were talking about how I just want to know how these Warfronts end. I just want to know who wins in the end.
That's a good point. Like, who wins? Are we going to find out at the end of the expansion?
Right.
No.
It would be nice to find out at some point, right?
It's a tie.
It's a tie. It's always a tie.
Do you think that they're keeping track internally of like how many resources we get and like how many people do it, and like maybe there's like a secret tally?
I don't think that matters, Thyst.
It matters.
I think it would be all about the story. Where are they going to go with red versus blue on these different continents?
Oh, Thyst is the PvP. She wants to know who won. I bet they do keep track of it internally. On the Heroes thing, like a month ago or so, they just randomly posted the winners of, like, we had the Nexomania thing where you could choose sides, or the Arathi Basin thing, and they posted the winners of those. So maybe they'll do it for the Warfronts.
Yeah, I mean, they could pull data from all that stuff. That's not really a big deal. But I want to find out who wins the area. so that
the Horde does.
No, not always. Maybe.
Usually.
Maybe not.
Definitely.
Maybe
no,
not. Maybe they get kicked out of the Eastern Kingdom totally.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
No.
It could happen.
No, I couldn't.
I bet it
Well,
could.
you burned our stupid tree.
It was stupid. What do you expect us to do?
It was a stupid tree. Of course we burned it. It's a stupid one.
It was dumb. Now it's gone.
Oh.
Did you feel better?
Oh man. No,
Too
I
soon?
really don't. It is too soon. And if you guys are watching the video show, I actually redid the intro a little bit to.
Oh, it looks real nice.
I put the burning tree in there. Just as
it's nice. It's like a rustic decoration, you know.
it's like a great roaring campfire.
Exactly.
It's an eternal flame of life now.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's like that song by the Bangles, "Eternal Flame."
Oh, I was walking like an Egyptian.
burning?
Walking like an
No.
Egyptian. What is?
No,
What are you?
Eternal Flame.
Oh, okay. All right. I get it now.
Jeez.
Now I get it.
You get it.
It's fine. So there was a bunch of stuff. Anything else about the Q&A that you want to hit on at all?
Hey, it was real good.
Okay. There we go. So watch that. Other than the camera work, it was really good.
That wasn't their fault. That camera was haunted.
It was haunted. It kept on freezing and they kept on switching back to the question because they couldn't actually do anything on air with a camera. So
Yeah, I wonder how that feels, Pat.
I've never had that happen in my life.
Never.
Never. 3 weeks ago. I think that happened. Was it 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago. Something like that.
Something like that. You're just like, you know what? We're canceling tonight.
Just like, F
deal
it.
with this.
I'm screwed. I can't get anything
literally
going on the
just
video side.
Pushed everything off of his desk, and then he went down the hallway and cried. He's like, "Don't look at me."
I didn't. No, I did cry. You're right. I did
Yeah.
cry.
At least you didn't bash your head on something twice.
Like I've done before many times.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some other stuff in WoW. First of all, it's Wintervale. Happy Wintervale, everybody.
Woo!
So Gizmo,
Yeah.
I'm looking to you to run down the entire list of all of the new things, and I know that there's a lot.
Oh my gosh. How much time we got left here?
There's
Okay.
A lot?
not much going on. They've got like
No.
a couple of new toys.
Yeah.
Oh, sarcasm.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the Zords had our annual Feast of Wintervale last week. I wasn't there because I was in Chicago, but I hear that was fun. Yes. So there's some cool snow globes
Hey,
around. You know,
right.
you can be found in Orgrimmar, and Ironforge, and Dalaran. Actually,
Ironforge.
Ironforge.
It popped up last year, though, didn't it?
It's Ironforge.
Were they there last year?
Oh my God. Yeah.
No, I didn't do them last year. So,
It's fine. You literally just swim into them.
but did you dance in it?
No.
Well,
You
Let me
should.
tell you what, Thyst, you should slash dance in it and help spread the joy to those around you.
Right.
I'm afraid that I might turn into a gnome.
I don't know. It says there's possible side effects to slash dancing, so to do it responsibly.
That's what I'm worried about.
The best way to spread Wintervale cheer is to slash dance in an ice globe or in a snow globe.
Yeah.
That's the way to
So-
do it
Well, if that's the best way, then
for all to hear. Nope. For all to see.
Yep.
Yep. That one.
But the abominable Grinch is still here.
Yep.
So you can, go
You
fight
mentioned-
him once you're level 16 up in the Hillsbrad foothills. The
Right.
Yormine West.
Right.
And then,
It's
of course,
been, like-
hats, guys.
of
Go ahead.
course hats. It's been kind of bittersweet up until like nowish to free Metzen every year since he's gone.
Yeah.
But like he totally confirmed that he's coming back at BlizzCon, so
He did
I don't
not,
feel that
He
bad.
did not do that.
That was a
That was-
hard confirm.
They were
Hard
joking. They were joking
Thrall's coming
around.
back.
They were joking around.
There's no such thing as jokes at BlizzCon. It's all serious.
It's all
Yeah.
very serious business. Yep. That's what BlizzCon is all about.
Seriousness. Yeah.
Important question though, guys. Are you a green hat type of person or a red hat?
Fist.
I like green because it matches my eyes in game and out
There you
of
go.
game.
I am a no hat kind of guy.
No hat.
No hat. No
It's a
hat.
bold-
Unless it's a crown of I don't know.
It's a bold
Gold?
statement. No hat.
A crown of branches. That's all I need for my crazy hobo night elf warrior.
You are a crazy hobo in the night.
For my crazy hobo night elf druid, it's all I need is a crown of weird branches and make it look like I stumbled out of a forest. That's all I need. That's it.
You heard it here, folks. Pat Krane is a night hobo.
Night hobo.
Yeah.
You've heard of the night warrior. Well, you don't know what the night hobo is gonna do.
I'm pretty sure I know what he's going to do.
I've got a bundle and I know how to use it.
I know. You whacked it over my head at BlizzCon, and it was full of rocks for some reason.
You don't know
Why
what
carrying around rocks?
you don't know hobos. You don't know what this hobo's
Apparently
gonna
I
do.
don't. I don't. You're the one who's
Crazy.
been hoboing for 16 years.
Crazy hobo night elf.
Riding the rails.
You know how Mr. T was night elf mohawk,
Yeah.
night elf hobo. That's me.
That makes sense.
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Anywho, so happy Wintervale, everybody. I normally don't do a lot of Wintervale stuff because I'm out and about in IRL. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, but IRL.
Iro.
Yeah, it seems to be a thing.
Earl.
Yeah. And I think that's going to happen again this year. It's always very sad. I always feel like I'm missing out on everything.
You are. And there is a new achievement this year. It's called At Least You're Being Careful. And it's when you get the new toy that's out. They're like armor sets, and there's wooden toy helms and mini or like toy cape things for each faction. And the that little dagger that looks like a Christmas tree has been like leveled up. So I think it's like 335 now at 120. Yes.
Cool. Let's see what else. The Hivemind mount has been solved for, and it looked intense. The Society of Secret People. I don't know exactly what their title is.
Secret people.
Right.
Do they even exist? Don't know.
But they figured it out. The secret Discord for WoW folk.
It took them 4 days. That's it.
And like there's so much stuff. This stuff like I would never want to do it.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy reading about them because there's so much stuff. I don't know how they figured it out.
Right.
Same. Figuring things out doesn't interest me. As long as something works, I'm just like, okay, great. But I love watching smart people come together and figure stuff out like that. I just admire that so much. I love smart people. Because they're smart.
Right. No, I get it. They are smart. They figured it out in 4 days. That's crazy. I can't believe it. And if you go to MMO Champion or to Wowhead or any of those other places, you can read about all of the stuff that you need for this thing. And there's actually a group part of it where you have to everybody selects an area that they have to be in, or I don't know exactly how it works.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
You can find a group in Group Finder, no problem right now, though. Especially
I saw it on the video, and I'm like going, "Oh man, this looks intense." You have to have a group of 5 people, and you all have to have a separate thing, and
Well, yeah, and I'm sorry if I do this group ever. I'm not doing the red crystal monocle. Whoever gets that short into the straw,
right?
Just going and buying a whole bunch of random stuff.
Oh.
But yeah, I want to see a video of someone just from the group explaining how they figured what their process is of figuring this type of stuff out.
And I think because it's a part of a Discord group, and it's actually a fairly large Discord, that they have a lot of people kind of working on all the different parts of it. So it's not just one person. It's more like groupthink in a weird way. So it is it's like a hive mind. It's a hive mind to find the hive mind mount. Weird.
I think we just figured something out.
What?
They are the mount.
That they are the mount?
Whoa.
So all you have to do is join their Discord and you'll have the mount.
One of us.
Just not in game.
One of us.
Right. Right, exactly. And in other news, the Vulpine familiar fox mount dropped as well for $25 in the store, or you could pick it up with gold, right? Or the WoW token, right? So
Yeah.
So you can do it that way.
I think it's 35 actually.
Is it 35? I thought it was
Something
25.
like that. It's 35, 32, something like that.
Really? Is
yeah.
that funny Canadian money?
No, Patrick.
Oh.
Is it 25? Maybe it is 35 on my Canadian account. Who knows? But that thing is so beautiful. Like
Chat
it
room
doesn't
says
even
25. Yeah.
It doesn't even look like it's from WoW.
No.
You know?
It doesn't. It doesn't. If it was bigger and more dog-like, it would be a luck dragon.
It's kind of wild star-ish.
Maybe a little bit.
Kind of is.
Because wasn't there like the things you could play that had the long ears like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Right.
it's a great looking mount. I love it.
Yeah. No, it's good. I don't know exactly how I feel about it coming out right now. I mean, it's fine. It's a great looking mount and everything like that. It's just there's been a lot of weirdness as far as like people how they feel about Blizzard games in general and about money, like going after, the cash.
Well, yeah,
people's
but
cash
this,
and-
I mean, it's obviously for Christmas, right?
one would
And
think.
This one, at least, like you know what you're getting. It's
Yeah.
not, get $25 for a chance at this, or you could get
Oh, that would be
Bat
bad.
Guano to send
That
to
would be
Barry.
bad. That would be bad. That would be so bad. Yes. It's direct, and you can actually purchase it with gold, which is always nice. And so
And it's a beautiful model that we haven't seen before. Like I know
it's great.
we've seen the wingless things until they fly, which is cool.
Right.
But yeah, it's just obviously the fox mounts have been really popular since Legion, and I think this is what a lot of WoW players really, really wanted. And I've seen a ton of people just so happy with it. They think it's gorgeous. So
Cool. Thyst, one question though. There's something popped up this week that is new for PvP. I think it's new. Is it new? Cooking Impossible.
Cooking Impossible. It is new.
So,
it is out today. It is the newest PvP brawl.
And so this is the brawl that's out this week, and it's with Nomi, and you have to get ingredients or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you-
so
have you
you're
played
in Half
it?
Hill.
Okay.
I played it really, really quick before we started this show.
And lost.
We did lose.
Sorry.
But I don't know all the ins and outs yet, but from the looks of it, it's a lot like it's a lot like, I don't know, it's another one of those maps where you kind of have to decide, like, am I going to do mechanics and win, or am I more excited about killing people and I don't care if I win or not kind of thing. It's you get dropped, you're in like a hot air balloon and you like glide to the ground, and then you have to pick up ingredients from like turnip patches and pumpkin patches and stuff, and then run it back to your pot where Nomi is and throw it in. And
it's farming 3.0. They've figured out a way to make a 3.0 out of the farm in Half Hill. So
You have to go back to your personal farm.
oh
Pick
yeah,
turnips.
I know people that still do that. Like every time they log in, they're like, no, I gotta farm. I gotta go back to the go back and do all of the things from all the old places, and those are my dailies. That's what I do. So
yeah, but it's not bad. You only need, I think, 20 ingredients. And when you pick something up, you've got a big spotlight on you, so everybody knows that you have something.
Mhm.
So it makes you an easy target. So I would recommend, just if you want to win, focus on getting the ingredients. Don't fight on the roads, fight on the nodes, and try to implement a buddy system. I know, like, if you're doing it randomly, that's probably not going to happen, but just stay with people. Help people out with CCs, and try not to get sucked into fighting each other on the road. Just keep going, because
Right.
all that really, like, what's going to win you the match is 20 pumpkins. So just keep that in mind.
right,
Just more CCs, less, just combat, and
So
that's how you win.
You say this is a new brawl, but I feel like I've seen this at like Walmart before a big storm hits. It's like, get the last gallon of milk. Get up.
Right.
Spotlight on their head.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
All right. All right. Well, that's kind of cool. And so what else is going on in WoW right now? We talked a little bit about the Sourfang quest line. That is now out. So you can check it out if you're a Horde, and you can actually choose how far you go into the quest line as well. It has like little bubbles where it says, you know what, I will stop here. There's a stopping point for you if you don't want to continue further. If you want to continue further, of course, then you may. So it's weird. You're on the hunt for Sourfang, and you don't know exactly why at the beginning. And I don't know exactly how it's going to end up, because I cannot support Sylvanas on any of my Horde tunes. Not going to do it.
Did you have to stop?
No, I kept going because I knew I wanted to support Sourfang. So I'm like going, all right, I kind of know how this works out. You can either support Sylvanas, support Sourfang, or say, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing. Screw you guys. I haven't finished leveling up my Horde tune. So it's not like you're hunting for Sourfang for Sylvanas. It's like you're looking for Sourfang to join him. You're looking for Sourfang for Sylvanas. You're not hunting him at the beginning. Or at least it's unclear now that I've finished it. It's kind of a little murky. You know, you never really know with Dark Lady what she really wants. But so you're looking for him, and you're trying to figure out how he escaped and everything like that we saw from not Old Soldier. It was the other one. What was the other one?
What other one?
The other cinematic with Sourfang.
Oh, the most recent one where Anduin lets him free?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So Anduin lets him out, and you kind of retrace his steps through the Elwyn Forest and into Red Ridge Mountains, and it's a fun little romp. It's a good time. So go check that out as well. So there. And again, if you're playing Alliance, play those quest lines because it's really, really fun. I'm having a blast with this story, guys.
Hey, that's great. I'm sure it's real good.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right, let's talk a little bit of Hearthstone.
Well met.
I just want to say that the Rumble run has begun with the new Rastakan's Rumble expansion. I don't think you played it.
No.
Okay.
But it sounds like the most exciting expansion yet, honestly.
It's weird.
Is it?
Yeah, Gizmo, I don't know if you've played it at all.
I haven't, but I have heard good things, and I'm over the Hearthstone PvP stuff, but they continue to release some good PvE stuff. So I'm thinking about checking this out because it's very similar to the dungeons. Yeah,
kind of, except for it's and some people, it seems like the people that are on Twitter, they love it. They love the new kind of way that you kind of switch it up with Hearthstone, because you have these idols that change the way that you play the game. And I have played it several times, and it's kind of like the dungeons where you have like 8 bosses or whatever, and you try to go through them all. And I've gotten through 4, maybe 5.
Whoa.
And that is it. I have tried this many different times with many different of the idle things, and I'm like super, super frustrated. It's fun, and it's extremely tilting at the same time. So I don't get it.
I'm 100% on my dungeon runs. First, when dungeons launched, I did one, I beat it, and
you put it aside.
I stopped there.
Right. Why do any more at that point?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to.
You beat the game. It's kind of like when you it's kind of like when you get done with the final boss of the expansion. You say, I have won the game. See you guys later.
Or you do it every week for over a year.
No. Or you play day after day, year after year. exactly. So,
Gotta get good, right?
Right. Got to get good.
Get good, nerds.
But that is available now, so you guys can play it. It is fun and frustrating for me. Hopefully, you have better results. But it's both. It's both, so it's not bad. It's just fun and frustrating. So there. Real quick, we're going to talk about Overwatch.
Anyone want a popsicle?
Sounds good. How about a cookie, guys?
Yeah.
How
about a chocolate chip cookie?
Yeah. So good.
So good. So Gizmo, what was happening is we have a new cinematic, right?
Yeah, this is a little short they threw up on for Christmas, the Play Overwatch team. It's wonderful. A little figurine Reaper and Tracer come to life battling over Santa's chocolate chip cookies. Because I guess Reaper loves chocolate chip cookies, but Tracer says they're for Santa, so he can't have any. But it's really cool.
It's kind of funny. Reaper is Overwatch's cookie monster.
Yeah.
Aww.
Right. But he doesn't go nom 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 nom.
I wish that he had.
He goes die, die, die.
But yeah, it's really cool. I think the one thing to point out to this is all stop motion.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is their second stop motion cinematic. And I hope they make more, because they're just like, you can see how much they worked on this, and you can imagine how long it took, and it's cool. And they could have just whipped up some sort of animation or whatever. I mean, not whipped up animation, of course, but it just seems like this was kind of a love letter to the community, just something cute and quirky and festive, and clearly took a lot of work, and they put a lot of love into it and gave us a little bit of like strange canon for figurines and stuff, and even introduced a new figurine at the end. I don't know. It was just really cute, and I appreciate stuff like that. Like it's you can tell that the Overwatch team is like, what can we do to wish our fans happy holidays? And they're like, why don't we just like work really hard on this cool stop motion animation thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like to think that somebody was really excited about the fact that Celebrity Deathmatch is coming back. And so they wanted to do, and they're like, you know what? Because Tracer's eyes, they kind of got that Celebrity Deathmatch vibe to them.
That is such a great show.
It's so good. I'm so excited for it.
Oh my God. We back in Miss Pandaria, we did a couple of boss bits like that kind of style. It was fun. It's just so funny, so good. Anything else here, guys, from any of the games at all? I mean, I know it's kind of a weird way to kind of to end the year for us, because this is really the last full show that we're going to have. I may have another one between Christmas and New Year's, where it would just be kind of a smaller thing, though. So depends on if schedules align and stuff like that. But it's kind of weird ending the year with a big kind of with Heroes out there. But I don't know. This
is a huge downer. Like starting the show with that. Like I think it's safe to say that this has probably been the weirdest year for Blizzard, or at least people orbiting Blizzard like we are.
Yeah.
I can only hope, and I do hope, and I do expect that next year will be bigger and better, and I don't know.
Right.
They've got a lot of stuff to sort through. There's a lot of changes going on.
It's right. And I think that there was a multitude of changes, especially at the end of the year, where you're looking at management changes, and now you have to look at how that will affect everybody else. Number one, new dynamic with J. Allen Brack now as the head guy over at Blizzard. Absolutely, that's going to be a new thing to get used to for all the folks over at Blizzard, and I'm sure that there's going to be a new way of thinking over there too. A new way of thinking about some of these games, or some of the pieces of these games. So there probably will be more changes, but
that's the weird thing, eh? It's like now there's an old Blizzard,
Right.
And we're in the new Blizzard now. And I think that's why it's been so weird lately, because we're losing a lot of old standards, and not just like games, but like people. And it just like we're in the middle of a divide. And by the time next year rolls around, we'll be in new Blizzard. And like they've said that they've got like several games in the works right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we know like a lot of new and different things are coming. So like we can't be too afraid, you know, because like usually when Blizzard creates something, it's awesome. So
right.
I can only hope for more of that. But I think this has just been a really weird transitional period. And I think the HOTS thing is just the straw that broke the camel's back as far as how weird this year has been.
Yeah,
and
right.
we might be at the bottom right now, but you know what they say about being at the bottom. Gonna like go up from here, or that. So we didn't.
You know what they say about the bottom? Yep. Yep.
I
Sure do. It sure feels bad,
right?
Man. Is that what they say about it? Yeah.
Night hobo.
No, I can't go any lower.
Exactly.
No, that's Pat.
So yes, you're right. I mean, there's nowhere to go but up. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Got it.
Could you like close out the show with like the sexy music? Just
I'd have to find it again. Let's see. Where? What?
I could just do it.
This stuff? That one?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah. Can you just do the voice, please? I think we'll all feel better.
No, I know. I don't have it set up in this particular instance of my soundboard stuff, so I can't do it. But I can also play this music. It's a little janky right now. It sounds a little weird, but I think we're good to go for the year. Thank you guys for joining us on this particular show. And now is the time when these monkeys will tell you where they're at and what they're doing, especially over the holidays. Are you guys doing anything fun, funky that you want to share with the people out there? Let's start with Gizmo.
Yeah, I'm doing some things. First off, Lords of the Storm will be tomorrow night at twitch.tv/Heroes Hearth, where we will be talking more about the happenings of this last week. And I'll have my second chance at it. Turns out it was actually a lot harder to talk about that than I thought it was going to be. Emotions start rolling once you start thinking about it again.
Well, just remember, you have happy music playing behind you right now.
I do.
So at least you've got that going for you. Maybe you should incorporate some of that into Lords of the Storm, and it might change your discussion a little bit.
It's true. That could happen. But then I'll be headed down to Florida, spend some time with the fam for the holidays. I'll actually be flying back on Christmas. So I'll be off gaming for a little bit, but I'll be back real soon.
All right. Awesome. And Thyst, how about you? We just had Lagging Balls out a couple of days ago, right?
Yes. We're not going anywhere. I'm just working and staying here over the holidays. We are thinking of doing some kind of Christmas stream for people who aren't doing anything either. So you can expect that. Like, there's going to be no change in Lagging Balls. It's all good. You know where to find us.
Wow. Yeah, you do.
You like that?
And here at this show, this is going to be the last, like I said, the last full cast show for the year. But we will be back. I think it's the first real week of January, because I'm not going to be able to be. We're not going to do a show January 1st, are we? No, I don't think so. So
that's kind of up to you, Pat.
So we're off for a couple of weeks, but we will be back in 2019. So there, and so I'm going to bail on that music, and I'm going to play this stuff. And in the meantime, if you want to join us for anything, please come on over to converttoraid.com. That's where we have all of our stuff. We have our videos, our audios, our guild stuff, the Convert to Raid podcast network that features these guys and all of our regulars here on the Battlenet news and Battlenet sports and stuff like that. Or you can catch us on your favorite podcatcher, YouTube, Twitch, SoundCloud, Spotify, and even on Pandora on your phone. We're there. It's true. It's true. That is going to do it for this show. Thyst, thank you.
No, you're welcome.
And Gizmo, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Happy Wintervale and Happy New Year to both of you guys. I'm sure I'll be talking to you before that actually happens. But, yeah. For all the guys here at Convert to Raid, we will see you in the new year. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Happy New Year. You know what's really funny is that yesterday, so I was talking to Robe because I was going to be on not Realm Maintenance. What's the other one?
Rolling Restart?
Yeah, the Rolling Restart. So I think that's the one. Is that it?
Yeah.
So we talked for a good long while about WoW and other things, and it was audio only. It was audio only. No video feed whatsoever. When I said goodbye, I waved at my damn screen just like I normally do, and I went, why am I doing this? I become that guy. And this even happens when we're talking like on Discord or whatever and just in chat.
Know.
And I wave. I'm a damn idiot.
Wave on tweet now.
Not because of that.
No, not because of that. No.
You're just
the waving makes it
frenzied.
normal almost. I'm an idiot already, and then I do that.
The California air is getting to your brain.